Hello again, it's Rycluse, unscripted, unchained, and with nothing to lose. So, a couple of weeks ago, I tweeted something like, hey, I'm going to try to get a video out by the end of the year, and lol, dare I say, lamau. Yeah, that's not happening. It's been busy end of the year, as it always is. But I've had an idea of something I wanted to do for the second channel for the end of the year, and this idea was somewhat solidified by the new podcast that just came out, Versus Wolves, featuring Super Eyepatch Wolf and Wooly Versus, where in the first episode, they counted down their top 10 things of the year. And I thought, hey, that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Now, all two of the Rycluse Deep Lore fans out there who might remember my old top 10 video might think, hey, are you even allowed to do this? And it's true, I might have screwed myself out of ever seriously doing a top 10 Game of the Year thing ever, because I basically shat all over the concept. But I think it's fine as long as you don't take it too seriously. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is not just top 10 media of the year. Top 10 things of the year can be anything. It can be a shirt. It can be a sandwich. It can be a meme. Wooly's list actually did include a meme. But I think as long as we don't take this too seriously, this is a list that would probably be different if I did it yesterday. It would be different if I do it tomorrow, but it's a list that I'm happy with right now. So real quick, let's just get out some honorable mentions. First honorable mention, Hi-Fi Rush. There is a scene in this game where you beat the shit out of a bunch of robots while Invaders Must Die is playing. 10 out of 10. Well, no, actually. Every single aspect of this game is just kind of great. I don't think there's a single part that's below an 8 out of 10. The character writing is so charming. The art style is fantastic, and I think is going to age great. And the soundtrack is great, and the gameplay is just a lot of fun. And the fact that it was shadow dropped like that is really something that a lot of people have been wishing that this industry would do more. Next honorable mention, the music video for Red Flags by Tom Cardy. This is like a 2-minute music video, and weirdly, it's something that you can spoil, so I advise that you just go watch it. A man goes out for a date. The date seems great, but she has a surprise in store for him. This music video is so catchy. The guest singer who he has in Montaigne? I'm sorry. I don't speak croissant, but she's an incredible singer. I've actually started looking into her stuff because of this. It's a great performance, and the visuals are just the manic energy on top that just make this incredibly memorable. Next honorable mention, the Blue Blocker extension. Twitter has gone down the shitter, and it's getting worse every day, especially because every single one of the worst posters on the entire site now has Twitter Blue. But you can also automatically block people who have Twitter Blue. I have over 13,000 people blocked. Maybe half honorable mention to the control panel for Twitter extension as well, but just the satisfaction of knowing that there's so many shitheads that I'm never going to have to deal with again, I think that's pretty good. Next on the honorable mentions list, and final on the honorable mentions list, the process of making my own Doki Doki Literature Club retrospective from the beginning of the year. Now, it's kind of cocky to put something that I made onto this list, but I really am thinking more of just the process of making this video. I think this is probably the most fun that I've ever had making a video, as well as publicly documenting it on my own Twitter page. So, playing through the original game, taking a hell of a lot of notes about it, working out the kind of narrative that I wanted to tell. It was just, it was a super cool process from start to finish. And I think I was really able to sort of get some stuff out that I had not been able to get out before. So now let's move on to the actual list. And I hate to be cocky again, but I'm going to put another one of my own creations onto this list. But I'm going to put it at the very bottom. Number 10 on Rycluse's list of best things in the year was my video, I Will Never Love Social Media Again. So this was the idea for the presentation of this video was one that had been bouncing around in my head for a while, both representing myself with a VR chat avatar and actually the setting of putting it inside a McDonald's like that. There's something that I just find so funny about discussing any topic while having your avatar sit in a fast food restaurant and look like their life has just completely collapsed around them. It's stupid, and it's about a stupid topic, but I'm just really happy with how it turned out. And I promise this is the last of the ego entries, because number 9 is Kagurabachi, and how it actually turned out to be pretty rad. So Kagurabachi is a new manga in the Shonen Jump magazine, and new manga are constantly coming in and out of Shonen Jump. It is a very cutthroat industry. And Kagurabachi was a little bit weird because it was getting a lot of Western attention before it even came out. There were some leaks, I believe. The key art was already circulating as usual, and it looked like it was going to be really edgy. So a lot of people began ironically venerating this series. People saying it was peak, people saying like it was the greatest thing of all time. Move aside Naruto, move aside One Piece and Bleach. This was going to be the new big one. And so the first couple of threads for Kagurabachi were pretty fun, but then what kind of took a lot of people by surprise was that it was actually just kind of good. Whether it's going to turn out great will remain to be seen, but the characters have actually turned out to be pretty fun. The paneling is really nice. The action, the art is fantastic with some of the weird sword effects that they have going on. Whether this manga is going to last is questionable. I think it's been showing some of the hallmarks of being axed, but merely the experience of ironically reading this manga and then finding out that you completely unironically enjoy it has been a highlight of the year. Number 8, Henry Kissinger fucking dying. So Henry Kissinger has been kind of a meme in a lot of political spaces online because he's the one that got away. All of his ilk from his era, Nixon, Rumsfeld, all of them are dead, and he completely got away with it. And it just became a meme. It was like, when is this guy finally going to die? He's just passed 100, and would you look at about a month ago, he finally kicked the bucket, and it was a great day of posting. Just as bad as good as you would have expected. My only regret is that the Chapo Trap House subreddit has been banned years ago because they had always said that would be the day that they get banned. Probably my favorite post from that day was not even a meme, but it was a headline from a Dutch newspaper, which you could read out as like, Henry Kissinger, diplomat, its statsman is dude. Reinforcing for all of us, once again, that Dutch is not a serious language. Number 7. So I'm going to begin number 7 with a little bit of a preamble. I live in a pretty walkable neighborhood, and whenever I want to go out for dinner, I only walk. I never drive in order to get food. And there's a particular sandwich place that I really like where I often get dinner on Mondays in order to numb the pain of it being a Monday. And it's a sandwich place, and I usually get a wrap there. And for the past month or two, it's been, cold as fuck here in Virginia. And so I'm normally, you know how when you're out in the cold, you just get that chill that soaks into your skin. And a couple of weeks ago, I was feeling that when I stepped into this restaurant, and then I saw that their seasonal chicken pot pie soup was back. And oh brother, let me tell you, this hot chicken pot pie soup with some sweet potato biscuits, with mango chutney and Virginia ham, that is the remedy, my friend. That is the remedy. Number 7 on my list is the chicken pot pie soup. Number 6 is Netflix's One Piece. I shouldn't say nobody thought this was going to be good, but everyone knew that adapting One Piece to live action was going to be an uphill battle. And while a lot of people, including myself, were really encouraged by a lot of the pre-release stuff that was circulating about this show, we were all still like, is it really going to work? Well, it turns out it frickin' worked, and it was incredible. The casting, obviously, was the biggest highlight. All of the Straw Hats are great. The guy that they have playing Luffy, especially, they seem to have just found the real Monkey D. Luffy living somewhere in Mexico. The surprise hits were definitely the guys playing Buggy and Mihawk. Both their presentation using the costume design and the special effects, how they portray the characters, the music was great. And I think they followed a really good ethos in the adaptation where they were not trying to recreate the original exactly. Obviously, trying to make One Piece exactly as it was, since it was so heavily defined by its aesthetic, was going to be an uphill battle. And so while it was still One Piece at heart, I think they really set out to make it its own thing, and it is so much stronger for it. And I am really looking forward to the next season whenever it comes out. Number 5 is maybe a little bit half in 2022, a half in 2023, but the most important part of it came out in 2023, so I don't care. The covers of the song from One Piece Film Red by YouTuber / singer / voice actor Emily. So One Piece Film Red, yeah, that's right, we're doing another One Piece thing. One Piece Film Red was a really fun auto album tied up in a One Piece fan fiction. Yeah, it was a decent enough theater experience. Kind of stupid, but I enjoyed it. The songs, though, were incredible. Otto is an incredible singer who I've come to really enjoy her work since then. And anime song covers are always a bit of a prickly business. Sometimes when you hear those lyrics translated into English, they just don't work. At least they don't work with how the song is written. But Emily, who also happens to be the voice actor in the dub of the same character who sang them in the original, she went out on her own and has done covers of all of those songs from the movie, and they frickin' kill. I never would have thought that there would have been someone who could match up to Otto with these songs, especially for my favorite song of the lot, Fleeting Lullaby. But god damn it, she freaking slays it, and especially Fleeting Lullaby. I still think I do like Otto's performance better, but being able to actually hear the lyrics in a language that you understand is, it's definitely something that can push it over the edge a bit. And I have been listening to her covers all year. Definitely the best one is Fleeting Lullaby, and second one after that would be I'm Invincible, which is a song that was not my favorite in the original, but God, she made it work. Number 4, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, this is on everybody's list, and you almost feel basic for mentioning it, but god damn it, it's just really good. Baldur's Gate 3 is the experience of playing a 5e D&D game with a really good DM, which many people would say was always the limitation of 5e, but it's just a really good story, and it's themes of people questioning their vision of what they always wanted themselves to be is just really powerful, and it's just a damn fun game. It's fun to be able to play around with the different D&D abilities in a video game like this. It's also been a fantastic co-op experience. My primary game has been co-oping with my dad. He plays a paladin and wastes all of his smites in the first fight of the day, inevitably, every single time. Cool game. Number 3, The Founding of Second Wind. So I think it came as a shock to basically everybody that The Escapist, which is the website and magazine that hosts the famous Zero Punctuation series, completely crashed and burned almost out of nowhere this year. I almost made a second channel video talking about this, but Zero Punctuation has a bit of a wild history. I think almost everybody who talks about video games on the internet is inspired by Yahtzee and Zero Punctuation in some form or another. Some people, way more, definitely I would be one of them. And the site that he was on was sort of dead for a while before Nick Calandra came along as editor-in-chief and really started turning it around with a much more vibrant and robust video team creating content outside of Zero Punctuation. And then he got canned by the parent company, and the entire video team, Yahtzee included, quit with him. It was just a really touching display of solidarity. And it was made so much better by the fact that they all went off together and formed a new team called Second Wind, and it has been killing. Second Wind is really good, not just the new fully Ramblematic series from Yahtzee, but all of their content. The new version of 3-minute reviews, the Cold Take, that really good movie guy that they have with them. And it's really inspiring, I think. The reason that it's so high on this list is seeing people go independent, and it's seemingly actually working, breaking free from these big conglomerates, from the big sort of video game review industrial complex. And I really wish everyone at Second Wind the best. They represent something so positive in games journalism. Number 2, the end of Attack on Titan. So, I have a weird and kind of tumultuous history with both Attack on Titan and the community surrounding it. I've thought a lot about this in the past, and I've still sort of tossed around the idea of making a full main channel video about it, because it gives me a feeling so complicated, let me tell you. The fan community surrounding it has spawned some of the most annoying people imaginable in the last couple of years, and I'm maybe a little controversial in that I thought the later parts of the story just didn't really live up to the promise of what they could have been. But none of that really mattered when I sat down a month or so ago and watched the last part of the Attack on Titan anime. And seeing that ending put to incredible animation, and finally seeing those words, "the end," in the same font that I had seen "to be continued" in for my entire adult life, it's a feeling almost too big to describe. My online experience has been largely defined by Attack on Titan for the last 10 years. I watched the first season of the anime in 2013, and I immediately got hooked on the manga, and I joined the online community. I would say that interacting with Attack on Titan fans and being part of that community has been the dominant force in my life online from roughly 2014 to 2018-ish. And even as I departed from them eventually, it's just, there's a lot of memories there. And it's an ending that I'm satisfied with despite everything. I think MAPPA has finally, fully taken on the mantle that Wit has left behind, and they did an incredible job. And that leaves number 1, Slay the Princess. So this one was the dark horse out of nowhere. I had never heard of this game until a couple weeks before it came out. Based on what I could glean about it from its Steam page, I decided that it looked like it was my brand, because there was waifus and there was horror. And so I streamed it, and I was blown away. And there's something so special about being so taken by something that you did not see coming like this. Slay the Princess, if you don't know, is a visual novel where you are an unknown hero who's in a forest, and the narrator tells you that you have to go into the basement of a cabin, and there is a princess, and you have to kill her, and do not believe her lies. And the story that spawns out from that is one about perspective. It is about love, and it is captivating. And it's brought across with this incredible voice acting and art, able to simultaneously portray such incredibly disturbing yet incredibly touching moments. And I have not been able to stop thinking about it since. It was a great experience streaming it. And just thinking about it, it is the thing that I think I'm most fond of. It was the greatest surprise, and it was my favorite thing of this year. And sure, maybe I want the tower to crush me like a bug, but look, it's not just waifu bait, okay? Okay?